Hey guys, welcome back. Andrew Freund here on location in Scotland, outside of Borthwick Castle, getting ready to talk to the cast of Outlaw King.
Why throughout time are people always fighting? Why can't we just get along, for Christ's sakes?
There's always conflict, I guess, which is kind of a good basis for this story, you know. And it's a monumental moment in history, so, you know, it was very rich with story. But yeah, it's funny, it's sort of a revolving door of, it's obviously very current, you know, throughout history, you know.
Yeah, I think it seems to be the animal instinct is the will to violence and the will to hierarchy and the will to dominate or to be dominated that just seems to happen all over every single species. And people fight for ideas like nations and states and ideologies and religions, and this has happened for millennia upon millennia. I think David makes an interesting epic in that it has all the genetic components of a Braveheart or of a sword and sandal epic and all the heroic elements of it, except I think it ends up being more of an artist's take on a meditation on violence and all of these qualities of like, there's a line that Angus, one of my compatriots, says to me is, when I find out that some terrible things have happened to my family, he says, this is the price you make for what you want. And it's true. You inflict an incredible amount of violence. You see a lot of death of your friends and family, and you're doing it, one can say, for freedom or for power, but whatever the case, people are dead, and that's not going away. So I think David meditates on all of these things in the movie.
So you made me think, you guys are filming...
Shit.
You're fine.
Water on my shirt, man.
You film these epic battle sequences, people are just fucking slaying the shit out of each other. And then when David yells cut, then it's like, hey man, like what is it like after you're just beating the shit out of each other?
Well, I would say the great credit is due to our second unit team, who's extraordinary. We had a very famous within Scotland, but very well-respected fight troupe called the Clan Ranald, who's been around for many, many years and was a team of expert, what you call them, medieval fighters. They just know how to fight in that archaic way. They were in Gladiator, they'd been in Braveheart, they've done a lot of films. And they worked with us. So that last battle, when you see the kind of depth of the battle going back, you know, to 100 yards beyond us, every single human on that plane is doing some sort of fight choreography. So as messy and crazy as it looks, it's all highly, highly choreographed. So obviously there's fatigue in between takes, but more often than not, you're trying to perfect whatever move you have, because when action's called, it's not just you in frame, it's about 50 to 75 to 100 people working. So if you screw up, everybody's got to go back to square one.
You have these faces, you're like, and you're bloody, and you're just, it's insane.
Yeah, we embraced all that, you know, and I think like where we had to embrace the weather conditions and what have you, and being in and out of cold lakes, and you know, it was kind of brutal, and you kind of embrace that and use that, you know.
Yeah, something that my character says to the troops at the end of the film is, I know you as men, but today we are beasts, and where we are going, there's no place for God. And I think what he's saying essentially is that as a Homo sapien, we are so used to the clothes and the finery and the trappings of being the highest on the totem pole of all animals and species, when also concurrent and simultaneous to that is a very primal urge to just be ferocious and do what lions and tigers and things on the savannah do, which is tear heads off and get really, really brutal. So people made a lot of the beards and the blood and the screaming, and they titter at it. But what I would say is there's, men go off and do horrendous things in war, and then by civil societies back home are judged for the things that they do in war. And not to say what they've done in war is awful, but to say that a socialized Homo sapien is told, go kill, and then is asked to come back into civilized society as a normal person. And what I think our film talks about is after you see the absolute insanity and chaos of what that is, one can hopefully understand what animal you are unleashing in order to do the will of God, country, patriotism, all that. Things that sound really nice on paper, but when actualized and physicalized become just a complete, you see it with his character. I think James Douglas's character is the animalification of complete bestial man driven to do some insane things because of what was done to him.
You scared the shit out of me, so. I'm gonna start, if you both were thrown into those times, what creature comforts would you miss the most? Could you fare in those times if Chris and Aaron were to go back over there?
I like a shower, man. I like a good, I guess they had baths, but I like, I like a television. I would probably be a miserable medieval king.
Yeah.
I like cars.
Cars are good. You could have a horse, though.
You could have a horse, yeah. I mean, I don't know,
I like smells, too, and apparently it was not smelling good back then.
Yeah.
For anyone.
What about you? How would you fare back then?
I don't know. I think, you'd adapt just like anything else, but I think I would have been actually all right without the amount of social media and all sorts of sort of overstimulating things like, iPads and screens and stuff like that. Actually, I think I would have been, I think what making the movie just felt like that, you was, so embedded in nature and riding a horse across the highlands. I mean, there's nothing more magical than that. So, and we were so deep in our locations. I mean, there was no signal, so your phone never worked, and there was no pockets for your phone to go in because you didn't have pockets on your chainmail and what have you. So you had to embrace it, and I've got to say I really enjoyed that. So
you wouldn't miss Instagram? Is that what you're telling me?
I haven't. I don't have any social media. And I just destroyed my smartphone for good, so now I'm full analog and enjoying every fucking second of it.
Is it empowering in a way? I kind of feel like that
It's not empowering, it's just, I don't want to, I feel like as I get older I have more Aspergian tendencies, meaning like the more stimuli and lights and sounds and static. The phone seems to me like a giant static machine. It's just everybody's loud and talking and everybody wants to talk and comment about everything. It's talk. And I just get, it's too much for my brain to handle. So it actually, it feels quieter now, which is really nice. No one can email me all the time. I only check my email once a day, and it's just nicer.
Last question. The key to doing the Scottish accent. How do you do it? What did you guys do to prepare? Did you watch old Sean Connery movies?
Sean Connery. Best. Losers always whine about their best. The winners go home and the prom queen.
Well, you clearly did.
That's from The Rock.
Yes, no, I think there was a lot of Sean Connery quotes on set, actually, now come to think of it.
So now that the interviews are over, it's time for a little falconry. And you know what? I'm going to meet my friend Della, the Harris hawk. Hey, Della. How's it going? It's going well? What do you think of the Outlaw King? You like it? Oh, shit. Okay, so I just did falconry, and what do you do after falconry? You shoot a little bow and arrow. You know what? I'm gonna do a little archery right now. Am I gonna make the bullseye? I don't know. Probably not. But you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. What is this thing?
Okay, this is called a bracer, and it basically stops you getting pinged by the bowstring on its way past.
Ah, okay.
First time a bowstring hits you, you barely notice it.
Okay.
By the third, fourth, or fifth time, your arm's gone black and blue.
All right. We don't want that.
We don't want that.
We don't want that.
We don't want that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, get in here. If you just stand on there, point your toes towards my toes. Okay. Feet, hips, shoulders, all in line, all nice and relaxed. Okay. Grab hold of that in your left hand there. Okay. Just your left hand. Don't do anything with your right hand. Okay. Switch your left hand right out towards the target. There we go. It's all right. If you're getting reds and golds, that's fine. for the
Okay.
first few. Keep your left hand stretched right out,
Okay.
okay? All right, and then
Maybe
draw
my
back.
eyes are terrible.
No,
Okay,
your eyes are
all
fine.
right.
That's it. Draw back a little bit more. That's it. And let that go. There we go.
Oh wait, I got. Oh shit! I got a yellow.
A score of 110 and 2 nines, which is 28. And then another 2 8s.
2 8s.
38.
Yep.
44.
Yep.
And a 751 out of a possible 60.
751 out of a possible 60. Make sure to check out the Outlaw King on November 9th. I'm done. Peace.